Franklin Hayes was a man of grease-stained hands and honest sweat. A mechanic in rural Indiana, he lived in a weather-worn trailer with his teenage son, Owen. Life hadn't been kind to Franklin. After his wife died in a car accident when Owen was just 5, he never quite bounced back. His auto shop barely paid the bills, but he refused to take charity. He worked long hours, teaching Owen everything he knew about cars. The two shared a special bond built on broken engines and quiet dinners. Franklin didn't have much, but he had a promise when Owen turned 16, he would have a car. Not a new one, not even decent by most standards, but one rebuilt with love. That was enough for Owen. He never asked for more, and Franklin knew no matter what he would deliver. It started with a rusted-out 1970 Plymouth Barracuda they found in a junkyard on the edge of town. Its body was decaying, the engine missing, and the tires flat as pancakes. But Franklin saw potential. "She's got bones," he said, smiling at Owen. "We'll bring her back to life." Over the next year, every spare dollar, every late night, and every weekend was poured into that car. They salvaged parts from scrapyards, bartered with old friends, and even handcrafted pieces when they couldn't find originals. Owen learned how to rebuild a carburetor before he learned how to drive. They sanded, welded, painted, and polished side by side, covered in grime but full of purpose. That car wasn't just a project. It was therapy. It was memory. It was love in the form of horsepower. The day finally came. Owen turned 16, and the Barracuda roared to life for the first time. Neighbors came out to see it. The car was stunning deep navy blue with black racing stripes, chrome rims that gleamed under the sun, and an engine that purred like a lion ready to run. Franklin handed Owen the keys, his voice trembling. "You earned this, kid." Owen was speechless. He hugged his dad tighter than ever before. The car wasn't new, but it was perfect. Franklin stood back as Owen took his first drive around the block. He wiped a tear from his eye, one he wasn't expecting. It wasn't just about the car. It was about everything that had led to that moment. The pain, the promises, and the bond that nothing, not even poverty, could break. A week later, they took the car to a local classic auto show. It wasn't a big event, just a gathering of enthusiasts and collectors, but the Barracuda turned heads. People crowded around it, asking questions, taking pictures. Franklin was proud but humble. Owen just grinned. Among the crowd was someone they didn't expect: Russell Thorne, a billionaire investor from Chicago, in town for a nearby charity auction. He wasn't into cars, but the Barracuda caught his eye. "That's a masterpiece," he said, walking over. "Who built it?" Franklin raised his hand. "We did, me and my boy." Thorne looked impressed. "How much do you want for it?" Franklin blinked. "It's not for sale." Thorne chuckled. "Everything has a price." But Franklin was firm. "Not this. This one's personal." Thorne wasn't used to hearing no. He upped the offer. $50,000 cash, right now. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Franklin looked at Owen. The boy shook his head slightly. "Sorry," Franklin replied. "This car has more value than money can touch." Thorne raised an eyebrow but didn't push further. "Interesting," he said. "If you change your mind, call me." He handed Franklin a card and walked away. The crowd murmured in disbelief. Who turns down 50 grand? But to Franklin, that car was a chapter of their lives written in metal and motor oil. It wasn't for sale, not now, not ever. The next day, Thorne returned, this time in a black SUV with tinted windows and a briefcase in hand. He showed up at Franklin's shop unannounced. $100,000, he said bluntly. "Final offer." Franklin stared at him, then walked over to the Barracuda. Owen was inside, cleaning the dashboard. Franklin knocked on the window, and Owen rolled it down. "This man wants to buy your car," he said. Again. Owen didn't answer immediately. He looked at his dad, then at Thorne. "This car isn't just a machine," Owen said quietly. "It's my mom's memory, my dad's love, and everything we've built together. It's our story." Thorne stood there, briefcase still in hand, realizing what he'd been missing. For once, he didn't make another offer. He just nodded. "You're right," he said, then quietly turned and left. What Thorne didn't know was that Owen had lost his mother in a car just like the Barracuda, same model, same year, but that one had been totaled beyond repair. Rebuilding this car had been a way to take back what fate had taken. Every bolt, every part, every scratch on his knuckles while working had been a small piece of healing. For Franklin, it had been a way to show his son that love wasn't just about words, it was about time, effort, sacrifice. They didn't need Thorne's money. They already had something far more valuable: purpose, pride, and a bond stronger than steel. A few days later, Franklin received a letter in the mail. It was from Thorne. Inside was a handwritten note. "I realized I was trying to buy what I've never had. You reminded me that some things are meant to be built, not bought. Thank you for the lesson." Enclosed was a scholarship check-in. Owen's name. Full tuition to any mechanical engineering school of his choice. "It's not payment," the note read, "just an investment in a young man who clearly has drive." Franklin stared at it for a long time. Then he smiled. Years passed. Owen went on to attend Purdue University, majoring in automotive engineering. He returned home every summer to help his dad expand the shop, eventually turning it into a community garage where kids could learn to work on cars for free. The Barracuda stayed with them, proudly parked out front as both a trophy and a symbol. Franklin's hair turned gray, but his hands never stopped working. Owen became a respected engineer, known for designing affordable electric engines for rural use. But no matter how far he went, he never forgot where it started: a broken car in a junkyard, a father's promise, and a lesson that some things can't be priced. They still took the Barracuda to shows not to win prizes, but to share their story. People would stop, admire the car, and ask the same question every time: "Is it for sale?" Owen would smile and say, "Not for any price." Then Franklin would grin and add, "But we'll tell you how we built it." And just like that, another story would begin.